Let's start the video about Unit 4, Lesson A. So, this topic is about routine, your daily activities, right? So, the question here is, do you usually do these things in the morning? Check emails, go to the gym, have breakfast, and the difference here, take a bath and take a shower. You see the pictures? So, what do you do every day? What activities do you do in the morning? Let's learn more vocabulary about routine. So, here is the verb get up. The second one is take a shower. In this picture, what does the man do? Every day he brushes his teeth, right? So, do you brush your teeth after lunch, after your meals? So we have this one, that is to floss my teeth. Number 5, shave. 6, you get dressed, you get ready. When you wake up in the morning, you take a shower, then you get dressed, you get ready for school, right? You wear your uniform. This one, the woman is washing her face, right? This one, put on makeup. Makeup means cosmetics like lipstick, right? Brush the hair and comb my hair. You don't pronounce letter B, you say comb my hair, right? What's the difference? Here you are using a comb, that means pente, comb. And the verb is pentear, to comb. In this one, you are using a brush. So you say brush my hair. You can also say brush the teeth, right? And this one, make the bed. Do you make your bed when you wake up in the morning? Are you a very organized person? The question is, what do you do every day? What's your routine? When I'm talking about the third person, he, Lucas, I change the verbs, remember? We had already studied about present simple tense. I say I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. But when I'm talking about Lucas, I say Lucas wakes up at 6 o'clock every morning, right? I say I get up, I take a shower, I have my breakfast, I eat breakfast. After breakfast, I walk to school, right? I play soccer with my friends after school and I go home. Then I go home. But when I'm talking about Lucas, I say Lucas wakes up at 6 o'clock every morning. He gets up, takes a shower, and eats breakfast. After breakfast, he walks to school. He usually plays soccer with friends after school. Pay attention to all these verbs. Wake, get up, take a shower, take, eat breakfast, eat, walk, and play. All these verbs you add s for he, she, it in the present simple, okay? But the last one, I say, then he goes home. Goes, we don't add s, we add es. That's another form. That's another rule. All the verbs ended in ch, sh, x, o, z, and s, we add es. Remember that? And you, what time do you get up? Do you go to school by bus? Do you like to play soccer? So what is your daily routine? So let's start Unit 4, talking about routine and daily activities. Here we have the pictures from letters A to letter O, and you're going to match these pictures with the activities from number 1 to 15. Let's do it. So let's check the answers.
1. Have lunch. H. 2. Have dinner. L. 3. Go to school. G. 4. Get dressed. C. 5. Wake up. A. 6. Take a shower. D. 7. Get up. B. 8. Go to work. F. 9. Take a bath. M. 10. Go to bed. N. 11. Go to sleep. O. 12. Finish school. I. 13. Get home. K. 14. Finish work. J. 15. Have breakfast. E.
So take a look at Tom in this picture. This place is where Tom lives now, and he's going to describe what he does every day in his life in this place. Tom is going to describe now about what he does in a place like this, that he spends 24 hours in the dark. We're going to read now the text about Tom Sanders' routine. It's 24 hours of night or day. This is the title of this text. And you're going to match the headings here in the box with the paragraphs from letters A to E. We have light and dark, summer activities, our daily routine, my city, and winter activities, right? Pay attention, read the text together and try to identify which of these paragraphs here we complete with one of the headings from the box. Letter A. I'm from New York, but I now live in the north of Norway in a small city called Tromsø. I like living here. I have an interesting job and I like the people. The best heading for letter A is my city. Tom Sanders is talking about where he is from, and he is talking about the city that he lives now, right? Letter B. What is the best heading here? I work from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. I usually wake up at 6 o'clock and get up at 6:15. I take a shower and get dressed. At 6:45 I have breakfast and check my emails. I leave home at a quarter after 7. My wife and children leave home at 8 o'clock. The children start school at 8:30 and finish at 2:30. I get home at about 5 o'clock. So what is the best heading here? Let's check. The answer is our daily routine. He describes what he does in the morning, in the afternoon, the time he wakes up, the time that Tom gets up, all right? And what other things he does during the morning, right? What his wife and children do, the time they start school, the time they finish school, and the time they get home, all right? Letter C. Our lives are different in the summer and the winter. In the summer, there are 60 days when the sun doesn't set. From May to July, it's light and midnight. And in the winter, we have 60 days of night. From November to January, it's dark at noon. So, the best heading for this one is, the heading for letter C is light and dark. Here, Tom Sanders described what happens in the small city Taunton. Now, letter D. It's very dark, but it's not a bad time of year. On the weekend, we spend time together as a family or we go skiing. We sometimes see the northern lights at night. They're really beautiful. So, what is the best heading for letter D? Let's check. The answer for letter D is about the winter activities. So what does Tom Sanders and his family do during the winter? On the weekend they spend time together, they go skiing, and sometimes they see the northern lights at night. Okay? What about letter E, the last one? The last one is about summer activities. In the summer, we spend a lot of time outdoors. In the evening, we often have a barbecue on the beach, and on Friday nights, we sometimes go to outdoor concerts. In July, we go on vacation. We usually visit my family in New York and also spend some time with my wife's family in the mountains. Another exercise, but right now we're going to emphasize the prepositions that are used to talk about time. Remember, to complete the sentences here, you're going to choose the best preposition that is correct to complete the sentences, alright? Pay attention. Number one, I leave home at or in a quarter after 7. Number two, do I use in May or from May? On July or to July? So which is correct? It's light at midnight or in midnight? Which one is the best to complete? Number three, we sometimes see the northern lights in night or at night. 4. At the summer or in the summer? We spend a lot of time outdoors. And number 5, on Friday nights or at Friday nights? And the last one, number 5, we use on or at Friday nights. Let's do it. Before doing the exercise about prepositions of time, let's study and learn something about it. Prepositions of time. Let's learn about this. What are some of the prepositions of time? In, at, on. When do we use in? We use in for months. Example, my birthday is in June. We also use in for years. Example, we got married in 1993. And we also use in to indicate the centuries. Example, Michelangelo died in the 16th century. Alright? Another use of in to indicate the seasons. Example, we're going on holiday in winter, right? At we use to indicate precise time. Example, I'm meeting my sister at 2 o'clock, okay? Indicating the hours. And on, we use on to indicate days. Example, my new car arrives on Wednesday. Another use of on, we talk about dates. We use on before dates. Example, I'm visiting a friend in hospital on 15th of January. Let's check more examples about prepositions of time. At, remember that we use for precise times. Examples, at 10:30 a.m., at 8 o'clock, at bedtime, at breakfast. The use of in is for months, years, decades, centuries, and long periods of time. Example, in 16 years' time. in 1991 in December, and on is used for days and dates. Examples: on a summer evening, on Christmas Day, on Christmas, on Friday. Let's check some exceptions. Remember, hours we use at 5 p.m., at 12 o'clock, at 7 a.m. For days we use on Friday, on my birthday, on May 7th, 1964. Remember, for the months we use in, but when we have the complete date, we use on before the month and the day, right? Don't forget about it. In we use for weeks, in 2 weeks. For months, in July, in May, only the month. But when we have the complete date, remember we use on. Alright? For the years, only the year we use in 1970, in 1981, right? For decades, in the 80s. For the centuries, in the 1800s, right? Pay attention to these exceptions. We say in 5 minutes, in the morning, in the afternoon, but we say at night, okay? Emphasizing the use of at for exact time at 9 o'clock, for meal times at breakfast, for specific parts of the day at night, about festivals at Christmas or any other occasions, right? And sometimes expressions like at the moment, at the weekend, all right? What about in? Remember, we use it to indicate seasons, in winter, in the summer, weeks, in 4 weeks, right? Decades, in the 90s, months, in August, centuries, in the 21st century, years, in 2017, in parts of the day, like in the morning, in the afternoon, and in length of time, duration of the hours, right? We say in 3 hours, right? Finally, let's review the prepositions of time with on. We use on for specific days, on the last day, part of a specific day on Sunday morning. So we use it for days, right? Holidays on Christmas Day, special days, occasions on my birthday. Weekend in the US, you say on the weekend, right? And dates on October 15th, when we have the complete date, month and day and year, or month and day, right? Remember that British English you say at the weekend, but American we say on the weekend, right? So, based on the explanation about prepositions of time, let's correct the exercise here. Number one, I leave home at 7:15 or in a quarter after 7. Remember? So the answer for number one is at. Remember, because we're talking about precise time at a quarter after 7. All right? Number two, which is the answer for this sentence? In May or from May? On July to July. Remember that we are talking about when it starts and when it finishes. So I use the preposition from to indicate the time that something starts and when it ends. Remember that from May to July. From to indicates the duration of the time. All right? And the next one, it's light at midnight or in midnight. Remember that when we talk about precise time, we use at, at midnight, right? And number three, we sometimes see the northern lights in night or at night. What is the expression? Remember that we use in for the parts of the day in the morning and in the afternoon, in the evening. But when we use the word night, it is an exception. We don't use in night. No, we use at night. Okay? Number 4, we say at summer or in the summer. Remember, for seasons, what are the seasons? They are summer, winter, spring, and fall or autumn. And for the seasons, we use the preposition in. Remember that? So in the summer, we spend a lot of time outdoors, right? And number 5, we have Friday nights. Do we use on or at? Remember, when we talk about days, all right, periods of days, we use the preposition on. On Friday nights, we sometimes go to outdoor concerts. Let's review the grammar spots about prepositions of time. The examples, we use in the morning or in the mornings, in the winter, in July, on Saturdays, on Friday nights, on Monday morning, on the weekend. At for precise time. Remember, we use at 5:30, at midnight, at noon. All right? And the prepositions from to indicate the start of something and the end of that, right? We say from Monday to Friday, from November to January, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., right? More review. Preposition in we use with the parts of the day. Example,
In the morning. In the afternoon.
we use with the seasons. Examples,
In the winter. In the spring. In the summer. In the fall.
another use of in with the months of the year. Examples,
In January. In September.
what about on? We use on with days of the week. Examples,
On Monday. On Tuesday.
we also use on with days and parts of the day. Let's check. Example,
On Thursday morning. On Saturday night. On Friday evening. On New Year's Day.
and finally we use on with the weekend. Check the example.
On the weekend.
To finish, we use at to indicate the time, the precise time. Remember that? Examples,
At 6 o'clock. At 11:30. At midnight. At noon. At night.
finally, we use at to talk about occasions, festivals, right?
At Thanksgiving. At New Year's.
All right, and to finish, we have the prepositions from to talk about days, months, times, years, talking about the start to the end. With days, let's listen to the example.
From Wednesday to Sunday.
With months,
From January to June.
with times,
From 6:30 to 9 o'clock.
and years.
From 2000 to 2006.
Okay? Pay attention to this. Look, at night, not in night, but we say on Friday night. We use at with night because it is part of the day. That is an exception. Remember, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but we use at night. Okay? We use these time expressions at the start or at the end of a sentence, and we use a comma after them if they are at the start. Examples, I usually get up at 7:30. In the initial part of the sentence, we use comma after the time. So we say at 7:30, comma, I usually get up. Do you get it? Another example, I have an Italian class on Wednesday evening in the end of the sentence. When I have in the beginning of the sentence, in the initial part, I say, on Wednesday evening, comma, I have an Italian class. Do you understand? All right. We can use the plurals for days, parts of the day, and weekend if we talk about things that we do regularly. Example, I don't work on the weekend or on weekends. Okay? Singular or plural forms for days, parts of the days. So you can say in the morning, in the mornings, all right? Let's practice a little bit more with the prepositions of time. Let's do the exercise. Let's complete with the prepositions in, on, at, or from to. So we have number 1. I usually take a shower the evening. What is the answer here? In the evening. Okay, it's a part of the day. Number 2, Charles does his homework. What's the best preposition to match here? The word night. The answer for number 2 is at night. It's an exception about the parts of the day, right? Number 3, what's the best preposition that we can complete this sentence? I'm at work 8:30, 6:30 every day. So what is the best preposition here to complete the sentence? So the answer for number 3 is from 8:30 to 6:30. From to talk about the start and the end of a situation, right? Number 4, what preposition best completes the sentence? They visit their cousins New Year's Day. So, what is the preposition we use to talk about celebrations or events? We say on New Year's Day. Remember, we use on for occasions, celebrations, right? Special dates. Number 5, we always go out, which is the preposition to complete here about Friday nights. Remember, before the word night we use at, but when we have the day, Friday, Friday nights, what is the preposition that we use? The answer for number 5 is on Friday nights, right? Number 6, which is the preposition that we use before the word August, a month? Is it hot here? What is the preposition? Let's check. We use in August, right? So is it hot here in August? Number 7, the days are short, the winter. What is the preposition we use before the seasons? Remember? The answer is in the winter. So we use in before the seasons, right? So you say in the summer, in the winter. And number 8, what do you like doing? The weekend. What is the preposition that we use before the word weekend? Number 8, on the weekend. What do you like doing on the weekend? Remember, this is American English. We use on the weekend. But in British, you can also say at the weekend, right? Now you're going to read about Tom's daughter, Mia. She's talking about her routine. And you're going to complete the sentences with the prepositions and then check with the audio, right? So let's do the exercise. Number 1, I usually wake up 5:45 on weekdays. Number 2, I swim 6:30, 7:30 or 6:30 and 7:30. The weekend. I get up the afternoon. Number 3, Fridays and Saturdays. I go to bed late. Number 4, the summer. I often go to concerts night. They don't finish until 2 o'clock the morning, but it's still light. Now listen, check the answers, right?
I usually wake up at 5:45 on weekdays because I go swimming every day. I swim from 6:30 to 7:30. I love swimming, but I hate getting up early. On the weekend, I don't go swimming, so I get up in the afternoon. I often go out with my friends, and on Fridays and Saturdays, I go to bed late. In the summer, I often go to concerts at night. They don't finish until 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's still light.
You see? So we use it in number 1, at before the precise time. And number 2, we use it from to talk about the start and the end of a situation, an event. On before the word weekend, in before the part of the day, afternoon, on before the days of the week on Fridays and Saturdays, in before the season in the summer. We use in for the parts of the day, except for the word night. We don't say in, we say at night. So the next one we say in the morning as a part of the day. Let's check the pronunciation about the sentence stress. You're gonna listen, repeat the sentences, and indicate which words are stressed, right? So let's listen, check.
1,
I get up at 6 in the morning.
2,
I work from Monday to Friday.
3,
I go swimming on Wednesday evening.
4,
I walk to work in the summer.
5,
My wife gets home at midnight.
6.
We have dinner at 8:30.
So check it out. The answers are the words here underlined. So let's check. You say, I get up at 6 in the morning. The most important words in the sentence are the most stressed ones, right? That's the answer. So number 2, I work from Monday to Friday. You see the 3 words that you give more emphasis in the pronunciation. Number 3, I go swimming on Wednesday evenings. 4, I walk to work in the summer. You see? Number 5, my wife gets home at midnight. And 6, we have dinner at 8:30. So these are the words stressed, the ones that are the most important ones, the ones that have meaning in the sentence. Take a look at the picture. Remember this place and Tom talking about his routine there? So is it hot or cold in this place? Remember in Unit 4B, we will study about the weather, the temperature, the months of the year, and the seasons. So let's start. Let's start with the seasons of the year, right? How many seasons are there in one year? There are 4 seasons, right? We have spring, summer, fall or autumn, and winter. Now let's pay attention to the months of the year in the United States for each season, right? Take a look. There are 4 seasons in a year: winter, spring, summer, and fall or autumn. And the question here is, when is winter? Winter starts in December, goes through the months of January and February, right? And the spring continues in the months of March, April, and finishes in May. Summer starts in the month of June, goes through the months of July and August. And fall starts in September, goes through the month of October, and finishes in November. So these are the months of the year for each season. There are 12 months in a year, remember. It starts with January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. But the seasons start with winter in December and finishes with fall or autumn in November. All right? In Brazil, do we have the same months that we have in the USA for the seasons? Do we have the 4 seasons in Brazil in the same months or are they different? Let's check in Brazil. So let's check. So we have in Brazil a little bit different time for the seasons. The months are a little bit different from America, okay? So let's check. In Brazil, the summer is really hot, right? And when is summer in Brazil? The months in the summer are December, January, and February. What about autumn? Autumn is a little warm, a little windy, the leaves fall from the trees. And when is autumn in Brazil? In March, April, and May. What about winter? A very cold season, right? When is winter in Brazil? June, July, and August. And the spring, a beautiful season. It happens in the months of September, October, and November. Here you are. Summer starts in December, goes through the months of January and February. Then we have March, April, and May with the season of autumn or fall. Winter starts in June, goes through the months of July and August. And the spring starts in September, goes through the months of October and finishes in November. And how do you ask about the weather, the temperature? For each season, the weather, the temperature is different, right? So let's ask, what's the weather like today? When we ask this question, we are talking about the temperature, all right? So let's go ahead. What's the weather like here in this picture? Can you see? It's hot. What about here, the opposite? It's cold. You see the difference? Pay attention to this one. It's windy. What about here? Can you see the cloud in the sky? The sky is totally dark. So it is cloudy. Alright? Cloud, it is the noun. Cloudy is the adjective, right? And here, what is it? It is sunny. It's a sunny day. It's hot, but it's a beautiful day. So it's a sunny day. Alright? Take a look at this one. A very terrible rain with thunder and lightning. So it is stormy. And now, can you see something? It's totally foggy. So what's the weather like today? It's foggy. And when it's raining a lot, you say the weather is rainy. What's the weather like here in this picture? You can say it's snowy or it's snowing. You see? So let's review about the weather. What is the weather like today in Manaus? Is it hot, warm, or cold? Warm is the balance between hot and cold. It's not so hot, it's not so cold. It's something that is pleasant. Pay attention to this picture. We have the noun, the sun, and then we have the adjective sunny. What's the difference? Can you see? Sun means sol. And when we change it into the adjective, I say the weather is nice. Today is sunny. Sunny means ensolarado. You see the difference? Attention, we have the noun changed into an adjective. So we double the letter N because it is a noun ended in consonant, vowel, consonant, and then we add Y. So the suffix that we use to change the noun into an adjective, it is Y. And the next noun here we have the cloud. When we change the noun, the cloud, into an adjective, it changes into cloudy. Let's go ahead in more examples. Take a look. We have wind, windy, fog, foggy. You see? The same rule. Wind and fog are nouns that we call substantivos, right? And then we have the adjectives windy and foggy. The same way that we had in sunny, remember? Sun, sunny, fog, foggy. It is a one-syllable word finish in consonant, vowel, consonant. We double the last consonant and add the suffix y. And the word win, we just add the suffix y. More examples. Pay attention. Rain, rainy. Snow, snowy. Remember, rain is the noun. Rainy is the adjective. Snow is the noun. And snowy is the adjective formed by the suffix y. You see? Another example about the weather. When I say it is in the winter, I characterize the winter by using these adjectives, cold and freezing. Freezing is more than cold. It is a temperature that is too cold. What about this? It's cool. It is in the winter, maybe, or fall or autumn, but it's not so cold. It's cool. And this is a typical day in Manaus, yeah? Too hot, excessive. So, what's the weather like in Manaus today? You can say, it's hot. No, it's too hot. It's extremely hot. That's a typical day in Manaus, right? What about this one? Is it hot or cold here? Not hot, not cold. It's a temperature that is pleasant, that is nice, okay, that it's comfortable for you. So you can say it is warm, a nice day to go to the park, to walk. Let's play a game. Take a look at these pictures. The word foggy means letter A or letter B. Which one represents foggy? We have the answer? Let's check. Letter B. Okay? Foggy is the weather, the temperature that you can't see anything. It's full of smog around you. You see? Fog means neblina. What about this one? Rainy. Letter A or letter B? Letter B is correct, right? What about this one? Stormy. Letter A or letter B? Letter A is correct, right? Letter B, you say it's cloudy. Remember, letter A involves thunder and lightning, a terrible rain, a heavy rain. The last one we have, it's snowy. What about that? A or B? Letter A, remember, it's freezing, too cold. But letter B represents snowy, right? So letter B is correct. Let's practice a little. Complete the sentences with the words from the box, right? Remember that we are talking about the weather. So what's the weather like in these pictures? Number one, it's snowing, hot, cold, raining, cloudy, or foggy. What about number two? Take a look. Number three, pay attention to the cars. What is the weather like in this picture? And number four, the person here with the umbrella, a raincoat. So what is the weather like here in this picture? Take a look at number five. Very typical in London, right? What is the weather like here in this picture? And number six, take a look at the sky. What can you say about the weather in this picture? Let's check. So let's check the answers. Number one, it's hot. Take a look. It's a desert. The deserts are really hot, extremely hot. Number two, it's cold. Number three, it's too cold and it's snowing, right? Four, it's raining. Observe that for numbers 3 and 4, both verbs finish in ing because I'm talking about the verb in the gerund, in the present continuous tense. The action is happening Now, what's the weather like? You can say it's snowy or it's snowing. And you can say it's rainy or it's raining. What's the difference? The difference is when we use ing, we are talking about the verb. It's snowy, it's raining. And when we add the suffix y in the end of snow and rain, I change the noun into an adjective. So I say it's snowy and it's rainy. All right? Number 5, the answer is foggy. Remember that fog is a noun, and when it changes into an adjective, I double the last consonant when the noun is ended in one syllable and it is ended in consonant, vowel, consonant, CVC. Remember that I double the last consonant and add the suffix y. All right? The last one, number 6, cloud, cloudy. We have the noun cloud and we add y to change the noun into an adjective, right? Take a look at the sky. In number 5, full of smog. It's fog. It's foggy, right? And number 6, the sky is full of clouds. So it's a cloudy day. Take a look at these pictures. We're going to complete the sentences here from numbers 1 to 12 about these cities: Barcelona, St. Petersburg, Shanghai, Mumbai, San Francisco, Liverpool, and Stockholm. And you're going to listen and check, completing the sentences with the names of the cities. What do you have to pay attention here? Take a look at these symbols. They represent the weather. Before doing this exercise, pay attention to the symbols that represent the weather. We have the sun, we have a snowflake, and then we have the wind, a cloud, the fog, rain, and snow. So pay attention to the degrees of the temperature for each city. We have 22, minus 11, 14, 36, 12, 10, and 1 degree, right? So pay attention to the adjectives used here to talk about the weather. So what is the weather like in number 1? It's raining. It's raining. So you pay attention to the pictures and you write down the name of the city that matches the adjectives here, right? The same way for numbers 2, it's snowing or snowy. Number 3, it's hot. 4, it's warm. 5, very cold. 6, wet. Wet means when it's full of water. You see, humid. 7, sunny. 8, foggy. 9, windy. 10, cloudy. 11, icy. It comes from the noun ice. You see? And 12, cold. So, let's do the exercise. Let's check the answers.
1. It's raining in Liverpool. It's rainy in Liverpool. 2.
It's snowing in Stockholm. It's snowy in Stockholm.
3. It's hot in Mumbai. 4.
It's warm in Barcelona.
5. It's very cold in St. Petersburg. 6.
It's wet in Liverpool.
7. It's sunny in Barcelona. 8.
It's foggy in San Francisco.
9. It's windy in Shanghai. 10.
It's cloudy in Mumbai.
11. It's icy in St. Petersburg. 12.
It's cold in Stockholm.
Let's watch a video now about the weather around the world.
Hello, it's time again for Learning Curve. Today, we're talking about the weather. Everyone knows...
Ethan!
Yes?
What are you doing?
I'm taking this snow off my boots.
But we're on camera. Is it still snowing then?
Yes, and it's really cold out there.
What are those on your feet?
Oh, these are my snow boots. I wear them every day in the winter so my feet never get wet.
In England, we call those wellies. They're for rain, not snow. And Ethan, it's November, so it's still autumn.
But winter is coming early. Sometimes New York State has a lot of snow, like today. So what's the weather like in your home city? Most people know that it's usually hot in places like Brazil, but sometimes the weather does very unusual things. Mount Emai in China gets 27 feet of rain in a year. That's 8.3 meters of rain. It's always very cloudy. In fact, sometimes there are clouds on top of other clouds. If you don't mind carrying an umbrella every day, the Bay of Bengal in India is a very beautiful place. But it gets 39 feet or 12 meters of rain every year. Whoa! Here's an example of strange weather. Rome, Italy has warm weather most of the time, but about every 20 years, Rome has a really big snowfall. February 4th, 2012 was the date of the first big snowfall in Rome in 26 years, 2.5 inches.
2.5 inches? In New York, that's nothing. That's 6.5 centimeters.
But when the city isn't ready for snow, it's a problem. The Italian government closed the Colosseum and other tourist places. Here in New York, tourist places and schools usually close only when the weather is really bad.
As you could watch in the video, you could pay attention. They talk about the seasons, the weather, the months of the seasons, right? And the activities, what people are doing in the moment. What's your favorite season? Why do you like this season? Do you prefer summer or winter? What do you do during these seasons? In the summer, what are the activities that you do? Do you play sports? What about the weather in the summer in your city? What is it like? And the winter, what activities do you do during the winter? Do you do special things with the family, friends? The skill of Unit 4 Lesson B is about listening for the main idea. You're going to pay attention and get the main topic, the most important idea of what you listen. It is important to understand the main idea when someone is speaking. We use the pictures to help you understand what the topic is. We think about who is speaking and what the situation is. And don't worry if you don't understand everything. So you listen for the important words. Most of the times you don't understand everything, but you pay attention to the main topic, to the main ideas, so that you can understand better. Do you remember the video that you watched? We're gonna do an exercise right now about that video. Pay attention to the most important ideas. In number 1, we have New York, 2, Mount Emei, number 3, the Bay of Bengal, and number 4, Rome. What can you say about the weather in those places? Can you remember that part of the video? We can say rainy and very cloudy, usually warm, very rainy, and sometimes snowing in winter. Do you recognize, do you remember which weather from letters A to D is the best one that match the places here? Let's try to remember and do the exercise. Let's check the answers. Number 1, New York. Sometimes snowy in winter. Number 2, Mount Ma. It's rainy and very cloudy. Remember the pictures full of clouds and there are lots of clouds over the clouds? Number 3, the Bay of Bengal. Letter C, very rainy. And number 4, Rome, usually warm. You see? This is another exercise about the video we watched. Pay attention to numbers 1, 2, and 3 with the options. You're going to check the correct sentence. Attention to the options A and B and choose the best one, the correct sentence about each of the situations. Number 1, A. It never snows in the fall in New York. Or B. Ethan wears his snow boots every day in the winter. 2. It rains a lot in Mount Ma, but it rains more in the Bay of Bengal. Or letter B. It's very cloudy in the Bay of Bengal. Number 3. A. It doesn't often snow in Rome. Or B. When it snows in New York, the schools always close. So let's check the answers. Let's try to remember the video. Number 1, letter A. It never snows in the fall in New York. Or letter B. Ethan wears his snow boots every day in the winter. Let's check.
Is it still snowing then?
Yes, and it's really cold out there.
What are those on your feet?
Oh, these are my snow boots. I wear them every day in the winter so my feet never get wet.
You see? So he wears his snow boots every day in the winter. And when I say that never snows in the fall, it's not true. Sometimes it snows in the fall in New York, right? Number 2, the correct answer is letter A. Let's check.
Mount Ma in China gets 27 feet of rain in a year. That's 8.3 meters of rain. It's always very cloudy. In fact, sometimes there are clouds on top of other clouds. If you don't mind carrying an umbrella every day, the Bay of Bengal in India is a very beautiful place. But it gets 39 feet or 12 meters of rain every year. Whoa!
Now let's check number 3. The answer is letter A. It doesn't often snow in Rome. Remember, why not letter B? Because in letter B, it says that when it snows in New York, the schools always close. No, the schools only close when it's really bad time. Remember that? So in letter A, it says that it doesn't often snow in Rome. When it snows in Rome, it is a snowstorm, right? And it happens very often. So it doesn't often snow in Rome. Letter A. Let's check the video about this.
Here's an example of strange weather. Rome, Italy has warm weather most of the time, but about every 20 years, Rome has a really big snowfall. February 4th, 2012 was the date of the first big snowfall in Rome in 26 years, 2.5 inches.
2.5 inches? In New York, that's nothing. That's 6.5 centimeters.
But when the city isn't ready for snow, it's a problem. The Italian government closed the Colosseum and other tourist places. Here in New York, tourist places and schools usually close only when the weather is really bad.
Pay attention to the listening builder. We are still talking about the sentence stress. So in English, we usually stress the most important words in a sentence. These stressed words are usually nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. You can usually understand the general idea if you only hear these words. Example: Mount Ellen in China gets 27 feet of rain in a year. So the underlined words here are the ones that are stressed in the sentence, and they are the most important ones to be understood, right? The second one, in the evening, we have dinner at my sister's house. So evening, dinner, sister's house are the most important words in this sentence, and they are the stressed words, right? Did you get it? Now, in this exercise, we're gonna read the text and underline the most important words, okay? Pay attention, listen, and underline the stressed word.
Patagonia is a beautiful part of South America. It's always windy in Patagonia. The wind is sometimes very strong, about 120 kilometers an hour. You can't walk when it's so windy.
Let's check the answers. So the words are Patagonia, beautiful part, South America, always windy, Patagonia again, wind, sometimes very strong, 120 kilometers hour, can walk, so windy. Listen again and check the intonation of these words in the sentence.
Patagonia is a beautiful part of South America. It's always windy in Patagonia. The wind is sometimes very strong, about 120 kilometers an hour. You can't walk when it's so windy.
Thank you for your participation and your attention, right? See you in the next video class.